Welcome back to Ethan's Garage. We're finally at the Cars and Coffee at a reasonable time, which usually does not happen for me. A bit of a late sleeper, you gotta admit it. But we are starting here with 4 SF90s. So crazy. These things went from one of the rarest cars in the street to something you're gonna see at every car show now, at least out here where people are insanely rich. I gotta say, this one here is probably my favorite. Actually, no, definitely my favorite. I love the color. I think the silver and all the carbon accents go really nicely together. What do you think about white seats too with red inserts? That's kind of cool. So much carbon on this. I can't even imagine how much over sticker this thing is. This one's probably 600,000–700,000, and that's without any dealer markup. That one's also pretty interesting. That's more of the orange, and this one I actually didn't realize at first was an SF90. I thought it was a F8 Spider, just looking at the nose, but actually I like the seats the best on this one. This is really nice. Much more my spec of the interior. And the exterior is fine, just I think if you're gonna do it, you might as well be a little more colorful. The black definitely hides the lines a little bit, which made me think it was a F8 at first out of the corner of my eye. And then this is a classic spec for, like, I think Daytona seats or something along those lines. They all seem, these ones have the same wheels. This one has a whole different type, and this looks like a carbon wheel. That's going to be expensive. And of course, right where the VIN is, hybrid vehicle, and also you can see there a heads-up display system, which looks pretty weird reflecting there. This one's also pretty tinted, so you can't really see inside too well. Interesting stuff. Now this is a cool car, or motorcycle technically. Morgan three-wheeler. Actually, maybe it's not. Looks a little bit different. JZR three-wheeler. So, it's from about the 30s. It's not actually a Morgan three-wheeler, but it's awfully close. That is so cool. Moto Guzzi Twin V engine. Alright, and that's just perfect right there. An actual Morgan three-wheeler. So you know how people say you're not car spotting if you're not dog spotting? Well, there's a dog, but there's also a cat. That's pretty fun. Beautiful Ferrari 308 or 328. I think it's a 308 though. Yep, 308 Quattrovalve. We got some scissor doors here on this new C8, which actually fits the car kind of decent. I'm usually not a huge fan of the scissor door conversions, but kind of fits the car. You can see that heavy steel bracket they got to put in to make it work. We got a new Defender 90 over here, which I haven't really taken too much of a look at these up close. It does look pretty good, I must admit. I don't really like the new Defender. More just I hate they use the name. It's definitely cooler than other Land Rovers, but like this will never be as reliable or usable as an old Defender, even if it does actually look pretty nice, especially in the 90 trim. I think that's really cool. And then right over here we get a Ford Explorer police car. Not sure if this is an actual police car. It looks like a tinted windshield, so it could be. Not sure what the deal is with this being here. And if you're interested in pickup trucks, here's some absolute insanity. Wow. Got the pickup truck bed trailer with all the hydraulics and the bed. That is insane. Look at that whole chassis setup. A lot of custom chassis work. Not sure what I think of that. Gotta respect that it's pretty impressive, nothing else. A lot of money went into that, I can tell. And then the opposite. LS swapped Mitsubishi. That's totally rusted out. That is juxtaposition right there. We got here a C4 Corvette, I think a convertible with the hardtop on it, and then we got a 01, one of the early ones. Don't see those too often. Love the color on this M4, and the wing is pretty cool too. It's a good setup. All right, so we got a pretty cool rig right here. An old Country Squire with very much real wood siding, which is pretty crazy, or at least half real. And then this insane drag car. It's gotta be insanely loud. Cool color. What a crazy thing. Right here we got a pretty interesting car. Cadillac XLR-V. Basically, it's a Corvette C6, except I'm afraid they might be a little bit less reliable. They do not have the same engine, actually. It has a Northstar V8, I think like 4.3 liters versus like 6 liters with a normal C6. Interesting car. Folding metal hardtop, weighs about, I think, 500 pounds more than a C6. But other than that, it's pretty interesting. This one has a, I believe, factory build sheet from, yep, Bowling Green, which is where they build them in Kentucky. Also very covered up under the hood. Got here a nice RX-7, the nice new Bronco Sport in a really cool color, and then an old Bronco. This is way cooler though. Also, nice pickup truck. Now we got a cool 300ZX here with the T-tops, which is always cool. And then we got a Hupp Skylark, which is somehow based off of a Cord. It's very complicated. Looks like it has pretty much new seats inside. Very puzzling car. Supposedly one of 319. Gotta look this one up later. We got here a slightly underappreciated AMG, the S63 Coupe. And then we got a very interesting car, a totally tuned Lincoln Mark 7. I'm guessing from like the early 90s. Interesting car indeed. And some fun stuff happening under the hood. Lots of tuning, lots of aftermarket parts there. And then really cool color in this early F1. Oh, this is a cool truck right here. Lifted Shelby Raptor with the hood up, which is even nicer. It's a gracious person. And then we got a pretty nice paint job on this V8 Defender 90, a real Defender 90 with the auto. Definitely one of the newer ones. All right, now for a distraction from the rest of the stuff. Got a GT3 RS pulling out. Listen to that. Oh, and a Murcielago. We've got an absolutely beautiful CTS-V coupe right here. I've always loved the shape of these. I don't know if this is a manual. It doesn't look like it, but not that many of them are, so I'll forgive it. Great color though. Also, great color in this. All right, it is supercar time now. We've got a 458 Spider, all black. We've got, I don't think this is a 599 GTO, but it's a really beautiful 599. The different colored roof makes this thing look absolutely incredible. Great condition in the interior, exterior. And I love seeing these darker colors in Ferraris. And we got a very nice GTR, pretty much, at least visibly mostly stock. GT3 RS, GT4. Hangs the big boys pretty well. We got a 458 Speciale and another one. Wow, they're very similar. We got a F430. Got an 812. This I gotta take a closer look at. I'm not sure if this is a, I don't think this is actually an SV, but looks a lot like a Murcielago SV. And it has the bat wings up. Then we got a 600 LT coupe. 765 LT. I think, yep. These things are so cool. One of my favorite new McLarens for sure. Great color in it too. Got the new Aston Martin V8 Vantage. And then we got another Speciale 458. So 3 of them so far. Another 458. Then we've seen this, I've seen this Huracan around a few times. This is a Huracan Evo. And there's the cat. That's so cool. Alright, so we got the Huracan. Pretty modded. Another pretty modded Huracan. Looks like a fairly basic 570S. Got a very nice looking Ferrari California. I feel like you don't see these in white too often. Color complements the car quite nicely. I think I just mostly don't like this in the very standard Ferrari red. It's a bit boring. And then we got the new RS6. This is the third one of these I've seen today. And another, that's a 488 Spider. GT2 RS. This is a real big boy car. Got a 488 Pista Spider. We got a 458 with kind of wheels are these? Do they say forged something? Well, they look nice. Then we got a 430 Scuderia. Okay, that is too cool. With the child seat, of course, with ear protection, which is very good parenting right there. I just love this car. Look at how stripped down it is. This is a true driver's car. Oh, and gold wheels. That's just the best. Oh, and straight piped. That's perfect. Then we got a Challenge Dolly. Similarly cool. I think a little bit rarer. I always forget which one's the less common. Look at how cool that door panel is. Simple lines, all carbon, simple floor. All right, that's just, I just love these cars. And then 600 LT. These are so common. We got a really crazy blue wrapped Murcielago. Auto transmission though. Then we got the SV Roadster. And oh my god, SV Murcielago. Those are, even out here I almost never see these cars. I see the craziest stuff. I have seen less of these out here than I have Bugattis. For real. And then we got a pretty standard but nice spec 458 Spider. Another 620R. We got the SF90s I mentioned earlier. Alright, and then right here is a Lamborghini Aventador S Roadster. I've seen this one here before. This is a beautiful Ford GT. Then we got the 488 Spider, the new R8. I think this is the facelifted one. And another 488 Spider, very simple spec, nice looking. And then definitely not a supercar. We got the new Polestars. They're here just promoting and offering drives. And then R8 Spider. Not my favorite look. I usually like white on black, but this one is not really for me. Then we got Panamera and Camaro. We got here an almost supercar, Maserati Gran Turismo. But what is with those wheels? That is bizarre looking. Beautiful interior. And then look at that wing. Wings on wings. This is not a spec I like. It's a GT car, not a, I don't even know what this is. All right, I cannot pass this up. This is, I think, a Subaru 360. Yep. Subaru 360 pickup. Rear engine, as you can tell by the bulge. And side entrance. That is, it's so small. You could hit a squirrel and die in one of these. Worth it though. And then I think another Subaru 360.
I guess there's different levels.
A little bit different, but same general idea. Crazy. We got this first gen Volkswagen bus for sale with just beyond perfect paint. Must have been a repaint or something. This one's 65 grand. I've got one for 89, one for 79. A lot of money, but these things are really nice and good hippie status symbol if you live out here. That one here's the, I think, $79,000 one. Once again, beautiful paint. This here's one of the coolest ones I've seen. It's all tiki surf vibed with the whole sides cut off. This thing is incredible. Pineapple Airlines is something one of the coolest ones I've seen. So we got tons of Porsches here, but this one definitely stands out to me. Only 34,000. I'd say that's relatively fair for one in this nice shape. Beautiful car. This is the smaller 4-cylinder engine, the 914 6s with the 911 engine. Those things run for so much money these days. And to think that these things used to be basically free. Got some fake noises with this totally crazy modded out Model 3. Pretty weird feeling a rumble from a Tesla. This guy's gone absolutely insane with his car. I'm not a big fan, but it is impressive. Interesting. And then we got a beautiful car. I've seen this one here before, but this is a work of art. This 456 with the 6-speed manual, gated. Beautiful. Oh, that's a bummer. Got a pretty sizable paint chip right there. Pretty nice little Baja bug right here. Crazy tires. This is pretty cool. I think this is like Mercedes 190 from the early 90s. I don't think I've almost ever seen one of these. That's 300C. I've almost never seen these as a coupe. Also, this one is in such good shape. An interesting, almost like louvered third brake light. And this one, wow, those are cool wheels. Fun. Both of these are fun. Then we got some Jags right here. We got the XJS and the XJ6C. Very similar colors, and I'm sure both similarly unreliable, but they sure do look cool. It's really a bummer that these things are so unreliable. I've heard such absolute horror stories about this car. It's truly one of like the most unreliable cars like ever. Such a bummer. You have to do an engine swap at minimum on one of these. But really, you should probably redo the whole wiring and pretty much redo everything that makes it what it is, except the body. Got here a rather uncommon car, Jensen Healy. Got here, in my opinion, one of the best Mustangs ever made. Specifically this one. I love this color combo. I love this spec. I love how serious of a car this thing is. And I just love this general body style of these first gen Mustangs. This thing is so cool. There's a matching one that I've seen drive in convoy with this car, which is such a cool sight to behold. And we got a super cool little mini supercar. I'd love to get one of these. Got here a wrapped super cool E63 wagon. These are always going to be amazing. Ooh, this is a car you don't see too often at these shows, but one of the ones I've actually been geeking out a lot over the past few months. The LC500. I don't think this is the H. I think this is normal LC500. Really cool car. NA V8, beautiful lines, incredible luxury. This one has a carbon fiber roof. Not the sportiest thing ever, but such a cool, like, future coupe. I'm loving these Lexuses. Lexi? I don't know what they call them. It looks pretty good with the spindle grille. Now this is a Ford Bronco. I actually think the new one's pretty cool too. Still haven't seen one on the road, but this is really where it's at. Inside roll cage, no doors. This color, of course, is perfection. And then there's this one, which is this crazy Baja rig, spot for the jack, big tires. Wow, this thing means business. You gotta always point out a Plymouth Prowler. This one is in one of the most muted colors I've ever seen in one of these. They're usually yellow, red, purple, who knows what else. This is actually a really classy spec. I always love these cars. I remember the first time I saw one of these when I was a little kid, my jaw just dropped to the floor. Love to get a chance to drive one. But gotta say, that center shifter and the chrome surround just looks so chintzy. At the end of the day, it's still a Plymouth Chrysler product. But damn, is this thing cool. This thing's pretty interesting. Toyota Trueno? This thing is crazy. I don't know if this, oh yep, JDM car. That's why I don't recognize it. Like, right-hand drive. This purple color is really cool. Also, first time I've seen one of those Illinois plates like that. Interesting taillights. Actually, the taillights kind of look like the SF90s taillights. Little wheel flares. Aftermarket Recaro seat. Oh, and I love the fender mirrors. That is so cool. And here's a very modded GTR. Wow, airbags, slight stance. And then we got another GTR, and another GTR, and another GTR, and another GTR, and another. So many of these shows. Ooh, very nice Supra. Super clean. Weird looking shifter, but otherwise super cool. And we got a McLaren 570S. Nice sounding car. Alright, we got here a beautiful Porsche 912. Love this car. Wow, 82 grand. That's incredibly expensive, but hey, it's a beautiful example. Then we got a newer 911. and a pretty cool E30. People have been doing some pretty crazy stuff with the C8, but I gotta say, I really like this look. We got here a wonderful old Viper, and something you don't see too often at these shows, one of these old Volvos. I'm not sure which model it is. Also, that's kind of cool. This thing's pretty cool. This is like a proper mafia mobile. Mercedes CL55 AMG with no, where should it be B-pillar? Obviously there's a B-pillar here, but super cool. I love the monoblocks. And then we got a BMW Z8, always nice to see those. And a beautiful Dodge Viper. This one's a perfect spec. Don't like the shifter, but that's alright. Still cool. And another Viper. And then as usual for SoCal, we got some really nice condition old trucks. That one's a little rusty, but it's a work truck. And there goes the GTRs. Nice. Hear the Maserati rumble. Ooh, that one's on airbags. Wow. And we got another nice old 911 with only one mirror. Alright, so I think that's a wrap. I think we saw pretty much everything of note here. Lots of fun stuff. I finally was able to make it here a little bit earlier than usual, so I got to see a lot more stuff than I usually do. We got this nice V10 with the Dodge Viper behind us. And just gonna say thank you for watching. This has been a really fun one. Hope you guys liked it. Let me know what your favorite car was here, and make sure to watch the next video. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up and maybe share it with a friend. Alright, see you in the next video.